What's up guys, and welcome back to another episode of Cork to Glory. This is episode number 64. And we start today's episode off with transfer deadline day. As you can see, around £15.5 million in our budget, but I had no plans to do anything on deadline day at all. We did see one of our players picked up on a free transfer back in season 3. I think it was Stephen Brown is leaving on a free transfer coming the end of the season. Totally fine with me. Was going to get a new contract, and I'm okay letting him go at the end of the season on a free transfer. And also we got two bids here, one for Aaron Connolly, which we rejected, even though he's not going to get much game time now that Adam Idah has come in and done really well. And also a bid for John Gillies as well. I was quite excited about him when he came out of the academy, but hasn't really had the game time, to be fair. When you got Cunningham ahead of you right now, that's not a surprise. So yeah, transfer deadline day was very, very quiet indeed. There was very little going on, and to be honest, we did practically nothing in the January window at all. Yes, we saw Stephen Brown leaving on a free, but other than that, no business whatsoever. And to be honest, why would we make deals right now? I mean, currently top of the table and several points clear of the champions Chelsea in the Premier League, into the last 16 at the Champions League against Paris Saint-Germain, where you see the first leg today at Turner's Cross, and of course in the FA Cup we're through to the 5th round after our victory over Preston in the 4th round as we head into the last 16, and again you'll see the draw and the tie in today's episode as well. So no need to mess with winning formula right now, but you might have noticed this. I had to show you this. Yes, Neymar, I know you spotted it. Neymar was apparently a transfer in from Arsenal. As you can see, the 34-year-old is down to 84 overall now. But he's going to leave PSG at the end of the season and go to the Emirates Stadium on a free transfer. And I'm kind of annoyed he's not going now. Like, I wanted that to be a permanent signing now, because we've got Paris Saint-Germain, and whilst he's 84 rated now and he's decreased quite a bit, he is still a fabulous player, even at the ripe old age of 34. So it's a shame that that deal's not going through straight away, and he'll still be facing us this year in the Champions League last 16. Still, you would have seen Gillies transfer talks did break down, and we had 3 more scouting updates and an academy update as well. I'd say the best player right now in our academy is Tully, the left back that we converted from central midfield. His potential range now is 83 to 89. There are some other players as well. Bogar looks really decent as well, as does Lep, another Estonian fullback here. I've noticed that in this year's FIFA, and particularly in this save as well, finding fullbacks or players that should be fullbacks when you convert their position is really easy to do. Like, we've got like an abundance of left backs that have come through this Cork City team, and right backs as well, or players we've converted to left back and right back that either show really good potential or start off with a very high overall. So yeah, finding fullbacks from the youth academy in this year's FIFA seems quite a simple thing to do. And as you look at our squad as well, we've got this team until the end of the season now, 85, 86, 83, one of the best teams in the division at 5-star. And as you can see as well, Samuel Bell, for those wondering, 24 goals in 25 games. As things stand, he's surely going to hit 30. And Cunningham, by the way, 24 assists in 25 games. Can you imagine if we saw Bell get 40 goals this season and Cunningham got 40 assists? I mean, if that happens, I think I'm just going to retire from FIFA career mode videos on YouTube, man. Now, like, what more can I do after that? Do you know what I mean? So, it'll be incredible. So, the graphics for February, as you can see, 4 big games here. Man City away at the Etihad, really big game. Wolves at home, the Saints, our final game. And, of course, the first leg at that Champions League last 16 tie against PSG. And as I was simulating through to the first games of this episode, we had a draw for the FA Cup last 16, where as you can see, we got West Ham, David Moyes' team, flying in real life. What a job he's doing there at the London Stadium. And also as well, I think everyone, Manchester United fans and even neutrals as well, I think everyone is so happy to see Jesse Lingard doing well there at West Ham. I really hope that move becomes permanent as well, because obviously he got stick for so many years, but I've mentioned it before, like he just, I think he's a good player, he's got talent, but he's one of those players that needs confidence, you know, and needs TLC. I think everyone, neutrals and West Ham fans and Manchester United fans alike, are all happy to see a player that's clearly struggled with confidence and mental health issues doing really well in a new environment. Excuse me, choking up there. Anyway, first game of today's episode would indeed be Manchester City away at the Etihad Stadium. We aim to remain way clear of Chelsea, the closest team to us right now in the Premier League. And heading into the game just 11 minutes in, well, this guy is just a big game player if I've ever seen one. It seems every time we face a team in the traditional top 6, this guy gets a goal or an assist. Eamon, the real deal Cunningham, heads us into the early lead there as he makes makes it 1-0 after a very brave header being Ederson to the ball. Holding on to the lead, heading into the break, Lo Celso would level things for the host right before half-time in the second additional minute of stoppage time there. So 1-1 and Man City back on level terms. Very tense, very nervy game this one, and deep into stoppage time, still tied at 1-1. Oh, yeah, I mean, I seem to say it all the time and every time he gets a goal, but the improvement in Troy Parrott's game, ever since he completed that position change from striker to left wing, is just incredible. I mean, he's just a totally different player now. He's embraced that inside forward role, and he's so much better. Parrott wins it for us right at the death as we get the victory by 2-1. So huge victory at the Etihad Stadium as we keep our lead above Chelsea at double digits right now. And I'm not slowing down in the pursuit of the title anytime soon. Yes, I bottled the unbeaten season, but I'm not going to bottle this title. So yeah, for the following game, Wolves here at Turner's Cross as we take on Nuno's side, and heading into the game, well, if you saw the title, you'd been waiting for this moment. 23 minutes in, and the real deal scores a really sick goal. Yes, my first Rabona goal, I think, in FIFA 21, and okay, alright, the goal is gaping, it's an open goal, he's 6 yards out, but they all count, it looks so cool on that second replay. Eamon Cunningham with the Rabona goal, a la Eric Lamela, not quite as good as Lamela's 2 Rabona goals in his career. I'm not sure which one I preferred, probably the one in the Europa League, but the one against Arsenal recently was sick as well. That one, not quite as cool from Cunningham, but hey, they all count, right? So Cunningham gives us the lead, then Luke Byrne makes it 2-0 with his first Premier League goal of the season, as we double our lead, and there were 21 minutes on the clock. Barry Sharkey spots a pocket of space, runs through the gap of 2 Wolves players, one of which pulled up there, which I thought was quite interesting, and Barry finishes from close range for goal number 6, I believe, in the Premier League, as he continues his pursuit of a first ever season scoring 10 or more goals. So 3 in the final score, and again, right now, I'm just on a crusade in this race to the Premier League. Ever since that loss against Aston Villa, we've just been absolutely flying. We've won every single game, and touch wood, fingers crossed that will continue. There's a genuine chance, whilst we've lost our invincible season, we could match Manchester City's 100-point tally, or possibly even break a new record for most amount of points in a single Premier League season. I'd love to do that. Now we can't get the invincible season. Still, following that, it was time for the big one, PSG, the first leg, Champions League round of 16. I was very nervous heading into the game as well, because obviously the board has said to us this season reached the semi-final. This is our first year playing in the Champions League. I was targeting quarter-final, but being drawn against one of the best teams and the richest teams in the game and in the world, PSG, that was going to make our task incredibly difficult indeed. And in the first leg I was thinking, if we can keep a clean sheet, I'll take that. I fancy our chance of scoring in Paris, I do. If we can keep a clean sheet in the first leg, I'll take a 0-0. But after Troy Parrott spurned a golden chance 10 minutes in, 5 minutes later, well, we mentioned him earlier. I said I wish he was in North London right now. Unfortunately, he won't be there until the summer. Neymar gives PSG the lead, but it's one of the simplest goals of his career, because Gavin Bazunu, normally so good, fumbles the ball when smothering at Neymar's feet, gives it straight to the Brazilian, who's not going to miss from close range. So PSG in front, howler from Bazunu. You don't say that very often there, as Paris Saint-Germain take the lead. 10 minutes before the break, though, we will get ourselves back on level terms as Parrott redeems himself and makes amends. Good finish from close range there as you get back on level terms. So 1-1, so we lost our clean sheet, that was what I was hoping for, but I thought, okay, if we can turn this game on its head, win it 2-1, we'll probably need to keep a clean sheet in Paris, but we'll have a really good chance of progressing through to the quarterfinals. But it was such a great first half, though I mentioned it before, these are the games where I don't mind too much if I don't come through with the win, so long as we get ourselves a fun game to play, and this was as fun as it gets, really. Bilo and Bazunu both made really good saves. Gavin right towards the end of the first half, and then Bilo right towards the end, so I went search for a winner. Adam Idah denied there by the Dutch goalkeeper in a 1-1 draw. But yeah, those games are just so fun to play. It was action-packed from the very first minute, and I've mentioned this before, I really think that EA need to realise this when you're playing these sort of games. Like, the most important thing is that the gameplay is enjoyable and it's action-packed, because when you have those kind of, you know, 0-0s or scrappy 1-0s, whatever. Look, don't get me wrong, okay, if you're playing strategically, I can understand why you'd take those results, and of course, for me, I wanted to go through, so I would have taken a 0-0 or a scrappy 1-0, but when they're just so action-packed and so fun to play, that's when the game becomes, I'm not sure what the word is here, not addictive, but you just want to keep on playing, you know, over and over and over again, keep on playing that kind of one more game. At times, that can be the biggest problem with FIFA, really. Sometimes the games are quite uninteresting and not too fun to play, and that's when you can lose the enjoyment. Anyway, 1-1 was the final score, and that means in Paris we will need to score, otherwise we will be going out. If we fail to score, PSG go through. I still feel confident, although it is worth pointing out now PSG are surely favourites to go through after their away goal in the first leg. So following that, needed to return to winning ways here against Southampton, and we would pretty comfortably as well, leading by 2-0. We see Bell get another one in that pursuit of 40. I don't know if I'm going to get 40 with him. I'm trying really hard, but it's such a difficult thing to do. I've only ever done it once before. I'm trying my absolute hardest, but yeah, it's a difficult thing to do. The Saints will grab a consolation goal later on, as well as Gavin Bazunu concedes for the first time in quite a while in the Premier League. I don't think he's going to have under 10 goals conceded all season long now. That's the 9th one he's conceded. With 10 games to go, the most important thing is we're now 20 points clear of Liverpool and Spurs in second and third. Chelsea do have the game in hand, so can cut it to 19, but 10 games to go, 75 points on the board. Yeah, it's basically all over now, isn't it? I mean, if I bottle this, then it's the worst choke job of all time. Now, I'm pretty sure that first Premier League title is basically there. I can imagine Ian Gray was already put the C, the O, and the R on as well. Yeah, that Premier League title is surely going to be ours now. And I worked out as well, because there's 10 games to go. If we win them all, that'll be 30 points. Duh. And come on, mate. I know my maths is bad, but I don't need to explain that one. But that will mean we get 105 points, and that'll be a new record. I think I worked out we needed, I think it was 7 wins, and I think it was 3 draws to do it. Is that right? 24 and 27. Yeah, that'll be 102 points. So actually, maybe 2 draws thinking about it. So basically, if we win 7 games and then draw the rest, that's for definite, we'll set a new record for most amount of points in a Premier League campaign. So there's a genuine chance we'll do that now. I've lost the invincible season, but I don't recall having 105 points before. I know I've had over 100 points before in my Nottingham Forest career, but 105? I don't think I've done that before, but I guess we'll have to wait and see. Regardless, the most important thing is the title, so whether we get to Man City's 100-point tally or not, most important thing is we do collect that Premier League crown come the end of the season. So yeah, for the following game, final one of today's episode, this will be West Ham in the last 16 of the FA Cup. No Jesse Lingard in the team in the game here with David Moyes. I'm feeling pretty confident. Obviously, this is our competition, and I mentioned it before, I want to retain it this year, no doubt about it. First major honour we won, so of course there's a sentimental reason for wanting to retain it. Took lead through Idah, who, I mean, seriously, I've mentioned him so many times this season. What a signing, man. 35 mil. Every single game he started, I swear, he's got at least 1 goal. So we go in front. Ponce equalised for the Hammerstone, made it 1-1. But right before the break, oh, yeah, mate, this was sick. Absolutely sick, man. Acrobatic. Is it bicycle kick? Well, not really, but acrobatic kick from Idah, who busts out the worm to show off the flexibility as well. That was sick, man. Obviously, Cunningham's Rabona goal is the one I put in the title for you today. But I was contemplating, like, including this in the title somehow if I could squeeze it in. This was a glorious acrobatic kick from Idah. Past Abbott there in a flash, no chance to Spaniard. 2-1 Cork City as Adam bags his brace. So 2-1, he then turns provider for our 3rd goal in the game as well, to surely wrap up the victory and secure progress to the quarterfinals. Knight, first goal since coming in the summer for the lad, formerly of Derby. Can't remember who he signed him from. Who do we sign Knight from? I can't remember now, but he got the 3rd goal anyway in a 3-1 victory, and that is us through to the quarterfinals of our FA Cup. So, yep, through to the quarterfinals, and as I ended my press conference here, we'd find out who we got in the last day of our FA Cup as we go in search of retaining our first ever major honour and looking to pick up a domestic double, where we'll be taking on in the quarterfinals of the FA Cup. Wolves, again, we had them last year in the semi-finals and we got them in the quarter-finals. So Man City, Chelsea, Everton, Leicester, Southampton and Leeds, the other teams remaining. We've got Wolves in the quarter-finals though, and I'm feeling pretty confident of reaching Wembley once again as we go in search of a first ever domestic double. But that will end today's episode of Court to Glory, guys. Big thank you for watching. If you have enjoyed it, if you have, then please do drop a like. Much love to you all. Have a fantastic day, and I'll see you for the next episode of Court to Glory, featuring the second leg of that tie against Paris Saint-Germain away from home in the Champions League last 16. Very soon.